I'm going to begin, Sandra, just by asking what it was about Bird Box that initially attracted you to getting involved in the project.
That it was two films in one. And if the two worked hand in hand and supported each other, that we might have a chance of introducing those who love a popcorn film like a thriller or a psychological thriller or a horror film to films that are more intimate and small and complex, and vice versa, introducing those who love complex films about human beings and the intimacies between them. Introducing that sort of more popcorn audience to something that's more intimate. If we can bring those two together and leave people feeling and thinking more than they thought they would have, that to me was really exciting.
Yeah, because I mean, I saw this. I mean, there's a real problem, isn't it? An inclination at the moment for people just to label movies. So someone said, "Oh, have you seen the new horror movie Bird Box?" I watched it and thought, this is a film about motherhood and how families come together and stuff. It must be quite frustrating because I guess when you're in the industry, the inclination just for people just to label everything.
Yeah, but it's human nature. We do that when we look at people and we sort of read it and we go, "Oh, that's this. He must be that guy." Yeah. I mean, that's what we have. Those are the only tools that we have. But look, if someone gets into seeing the film, that's a nice thing about a streaming venue is that you can go, I'm not into horror films or thrillers, and you go, I have nothing else to do, I'll just watch this, and you go, I had no idea that this film was about this kind of journey. That's where a streaming venue like Netflix is great in that it allows you to come to it in your own time.
Yeah, because I was out for dinner the other night with some friends, and we were all talking about the new Coen Brothers film, the Buster Scruggs movie, and they'd all seen it. And I think when I talk about new movies, because I see sort of so many for work, they've never seen any of the films I talk about, but because it's on Netflix, they've actually watching it. So I know obviously there's an argument, films look better on the big screen, but the most important thing really is that people just watch the damn things, isn't it?
Watch it and take it in, and that also that the directors and the filmmakers are understanding that when it is viewed and streamed that way, how do they approach it differently so that the experience is just as rich for the viewer as it would have been if they'd been in the theater. It's just great conversations to have about filmmaking and artistry and cinematography and lighting and music and sound. You know, what if the sound isn't great? Like, I don't know if you saw Roma, but Roma, the sound was so much a part of the story. But what happens if you don't have surround sound? Are you gonna miss half the story? You know, and guaranteed Alfonso thought of that in a way to sort of convey the story so that you'd still get the essence of what he was trying to say without the surround sound.
Roma's so good, isn't it?
It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Talking of so good, I mean, you're working with Sarah Paulson again, of course, in this. I mean, obviously, you worked together in Ocean's 8. This was a slightly different experience, but I imagine she's so wonderful that it was equally as enjoyable.
Yes, but I enjoyed killing her.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't actually kill her. She killed herself. But yes, I mean, the reason, we wanted, Susanne and I came up with Sarah's name at the same time, literally on the same call. Because we needed somebody that if you only had her for a few minutes and she was gone, she would leave a massive vacancy. And Paulson is somebody that can leave that vacancy. And since we are that close and we have so much fun, there was an instant history that I think you could feel. So as sisters, you have to obviously feel that, you know, the two people knew each other. So she had a lot of things that she had to accomplish in her very short time on screen, and she does it effortlessly.
A bit like me doing these interviews. You
Exactly.
get like 5 minutes.
You 5 minutes, but they're going to last a lifetime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And also, the cast in that house was amazing. And obviously in the movie, it's just John Malkovich walking around with a shotgun. Now, I know he's acting, and I know you're all acting, but that must have been a bit intimidating when you just see him.
Until you realize that he is one of the warmest and most loving human beings. We had a scene where I have to actually, the scene where I'm talking about when my sister dies, and I'm talking to Trey, and we had this house that had tin roofs, and it was under an acorn tree. And we had a limited time for me to get this scene, and it was a very hard scene, and every time I opened my mouth, 6 acorns would drop on the roof, and I'm like, I can't. And then all of a sudden, the emotion was gone, and I panicked, and I said, I'm dry, I have nothing left to give, and I was getting so angry at myself. And around the corner comes John, sort of walking very briskly, and I was like, oh my God, he's gonna hit me, because I'm wasting time. I know this is what's gonna happen. And he walks up, and he just puts his arms around me and gives me a hug, and just holds on, and then leaves. And as soon as he left, it was like, just roll the camera. I knew, he knew exactly what he was doing as an actor, and as a human being, he knew I was stuck, and he knew that human kindness would unstick me.
And just very finally, before I go, I just wonder, because I mean, obviously in film, so much emotion comes through the eyes, you know, and I think some of the best lines ever spoken in cinema have been said without the use of words, you know, but in this, you've got to do some really big, impactful scenes with a blindfold on. I was just wondering about how you went about portraying the emotional nuances to the character without actually
frustrating moments. Frustrating. How do you convey something that I've always used my eyes to convey? And I had to do it with everything that I had inside only coming out of one venue. I couldn't move my body because I was holding a child. I couldn't let you see my eyes to see if I was in pain or not. So everything I had to come through my voice. And it was weird because I lost my voice at the most emotional times. I couldn't get it to push any further because everything just shut down. And it was interesting. It was interesting to watch the body not support you when you needed it to.
Yeah. Well, worth it for the finished product anyway.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh?
Hey You Guys.
Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yes.
Nice.
Hey You Guys!